Hey everybody, it's Chad from the Beer to Tops podcast. Quick review. We got one today that's fresh in my mind from the brewery that we just visited this weekend. I was not able to rate this beer. I did take a tiny sample of it, but I had a little bit to drink on Saturday when we were at Tighthead Brewery. I'm not remembering the taste of this beer all that well. So I didn't put it on Untappd. Didn't have enough of a flavor profile to give it a good rating. Today I'm doing the Tighthead Brewery Chili Water Pale Ale. I love this can. That's some sort of deep sea fish. In fact, I was just watching a show last night that had some a fish that looked like this on it. Some sort of angler fish, I think. I love that on the antenna, which on the real fish is like bioluminescent bulb of sorts. They've got the hop flower out in front of it. I love anything deep sea. I'm a deep sea geek. I watch all those shows, so all the stuff that's down there is just fascinating to me. I love anything that has to do with water. I love being out on the water, being on my boat, having a beer on a boat. I mean, it doesn't really get any better than that. So Tighthead Brewing, Mundelein, Illinois. We were there just a couple of days ago and sampled every beer that they had. I did not rate every single beer that I had because I didn't have enough of it. Great brewery in Mundelein. They're in industrial district, I guess is what I'll call it. But you go inside, the bar is in front of the brewing facility. I think they just recently expanded to have a larger room off to the side where you can just hang out. So this is a pale ale, Chili Water American Pale Ale. Our wheat-based American Pale Ale drinks like an IPA, but without all the heavy malt sweetness and alcohol, making it an ideal session beer. Citra and Amarillo hops provide an aroma and flavor of mango, tangerine, and other soft. The citrus fruit and American ale yeast ferments chili to crisp, refreshing finish. Enjoy all day with no need for the panic. And they say that because this is a sessionable beer, right? It's anything below, 5% or so is typically labeled as a session beer. So this one, 4.8% ABV, and it has an IBU rating of 40. I'll go ahead and open this up and get it poured, and I'll tell you a little bit more about Tighthead. Okay, so I didn't get the whole can in there, but it pours nicely to about 1.5 inches head. It looks like it's going to dissipate fairly quickly. Not a super tightly packed bubbles, not super tightly packed bubbles in the head. They're actually quite wide on the sides of the glass, and they look a little smaller on top, but they're popping. It smells very citrusy. I mean, if they say it drinks like an IPA, and the hops that they used is going to give it a very citrusy taste and smell. It just has a citrusy smell. I actually don't smell a whole lot of hoppiness to it. Just very fruity. It's not translucent. It is mostly opaque. Let me get my light so you can kind of see you're not going to be able to see the color if I do it from behind, but do it from behind. There's a pretty good representation of what color the beer actually is, because it looks pretty dark there, but it's orangey. Can't see through it. Not super opaque and hazy. Like I wouldn't call this a hazy beer. It's just opaque. So the head's dissipated pretty much. Give it a little bit of a swirl there. It's release some more of those aromas. The citrus flavors, the citrus aromas are that's not orange. I would say more tangerine-ish, because it's a little bit of a soury orange flavor. Yeah, tangerine. They say mango. I can never smell mango. I don't think mango really has a bold smell to my sniffer. Let's see how she tastes. It does initial drink there, initial sip. Yeah, I totally get where they say it drinks like an IPA. It's fruity and citrusy. I feel like there isn't really another good way to describe a good pale ale or a decently flavored IPA. It definitely does drink more like an IPA. It's more bitter than I would expect a pale ale to be, but the flavors are there more so than the alcohol, which is what they're going for. 4.8%. Yeah, you could drink one right after another, and have some left over in your tank there for more. Got a good flavor for a sessionable beer. It's good. It's not the best pale ale I've had. Classified as an American pale ale. It is refreshing, though. It's going to get points in my book for being a refreshing beer with really good flavor. It's a little on the bitter side, which is not bad. I like bitter, but it's more bitter than I would typically think an APA would be. They say that it drinks like an IPA, but without all the heavy malt sweetness and alcohol. I mean, I get the lack of alcohol content. It's not as balanced as I would say a good IPA or good pale ale is. For me, I kind of like that malty sweetness in an IPA to keep it a little bit more balanced. But it's not so far on the bitter side of things that I couldn't drink this and then turn around and drink another one. This one really seems like kind of a simple beer, but I'm having a little more trouble describing it, which is weird. Let me tell you a little bit about Tighthead. They were founded in 2010. Oh, shite. Master brewer and original owner Bruce Dir, or Dyer, D-I-R. I'm not really sure how you say that. I would say Dir. Been a home brewer since 1993. His then fiance bought him a home brewer kit as a Christmas present, and that's kind of where it started. So he took that experience from 1993 all the way up through the early 2000s, that first decade of the 2000s, turned it into what is now the Tighthead Brewery. The name Tighthead comes from a rugby position. Apparently Bruce played rugby, and his position when he played was the tight head prop. I don't know much about rugby. I'm a football guy, American football. I don't have any idea how to explain anything as far as rugby goes. Position that involves being in the front row of the scrum, supporting the hooker. I wouldn't do it just because it's a little too rough for me. So that's kind of the story of Tighthead. Longtime home brewer. 2010, actually I believe he said he was reorged out of his corporate job in 2009, which gave him the opportunity to then start the brewery in 2010. Production began in the brewery in September of 2011. Mundelein, Illinois, Tighthead Brewing, Chili Waters American Pale Ale. First impression, nice and refreshing. I will give this an initial rating of 3.5. I think that has a pretty good chance to go up a little bit as I drink this. It's really cold right now. Other than Pilsners and lagers, I don't like to drink anything really cold. So this is fairly cold. Out of the refrigerator for about 15 minutes before I cracked it open there. So I'm going to let it warm up a little bit, get some more of those flavors. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes up a little bit, but yeah, 3.5 out of the can. 3.5 in the can. It is yummy, and it does have a cool can. Nice job, Tighthead. I'll be back for more. If you guys like this quick review, check us out on our regular podcast. Adam and I do a full-length review on a beer. We don't get technical on it, but we do an in-depth review on how we feel about the beer. And then we also talk about the brewery a little bit more in depth as well. That's usually about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes long. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's on YouTube. Also, our podcasts are available at any RSS feed that you can get your hands on. We have a website. It's called beardedhops.com. Go to beardedhops.com/find us, and you will know everything you ever wanted to know with our cool beards. Cool beards. Cool beards. Bearded Hops. Get it? Cheers, everybody. See you next time on the Bearded Hops podcast. That fish is scary.